Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Mishal Saeed, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're thrilled to have Nick Tapp, the founder and CEO of Taptico Solutions, joining us. Nick brings over 20 years of marketing expertise, leading a digital agency that's helped tech, healthcare, and e-commerce clients achieve lead conversion increases through performance marketing and sales enablement. From working with so many different brands since 2020, he's measuring ROI, and we're going to explore his founding story today, how Taptico creates growth pipelines, and his vision for scaling his dynamic agency. So let's dive in. Nick, welcome to Founders Future.
Good to be here. I appreciate the offer.
Absolutely. Now, I want to kick things off for our listeners. Take us back to the beginning. What specific problem within the digital marketing or sales landscape, perhaps around lead gen or ROI, inspired you to start Taptico Solutions?
Quick background on me is I started in media. So I started in radio a long time ago, back when radio was still cool. And from then, I moved on to a couple of different startups, did that stuff. And then I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia. I worked for a restaurant company here called Gusto. And I was hired on, I think they had three locations. We grew it to 12 over a period of about 5 years. And in doing so, I built the marketing team, I built the marketing processes. We won an Inc. 5000 award, so that was cool. But after I got everything built up and the machines running, and I had a team and I was doing the management stuff, and it started getting corporate. And that's when I get bored. So it was time for me to step away. And I took about a 6 to 8 month hiatus, figuring out what the hell I wanted to do next. I knew that AI was going to be a big deal. I knew that sitting in my marketing director's seat, and I'm in 20 meetings a week, I have no time to read into what AI is, let alone learn it. So as I'm figuring out what my next steps were, I'm like, I need to dive into this. I need to really figure it out. Basically because I'm interested in it, but also I knew that people like me that are busy doing their jobs don't have time to figure out how to implement AI, what tools to use, and then keep up with all of the different iterations and advancements that happen literally on a daily basis now. Ta-da! Here comes Taptico. And I've been under the hood building it for a while. And just about 2 weeks ago, my first boss out of college, he also went off, did a startup, sold it, and he joined up with me. He and I launched a radio station here in Atlanta. And we're about to announce a third partner that some of your listeners might know, but he has not been officially introduced yet. But a little teaser there. So yeah, long story short, I have been working with small businesses, like you said, for a long time. I've also worked with large companies. And I think that AI right now is poised to really democratize what's happening in the marketing space specifically. The small businesses that really get it and learn it and understand that it's not there to take their jobs, it's actually there to level them up quickly. They
Yeah.
can't afford MBAs, they can't afford consultants, they can't afford having teams of dudes in suits running around trying to do all this stuff. They can't afford the brilliant creative geniuses that are graphic designers to really execute on their brand. They go into Canva and they're like good enough. But now with AI, I feel like those small businesses that really embrace it have a chance to really become the David versus the Goliaths. And
Mhm.
that's where I really want to help them. I'm pretty tech savvy, and it took me a while to learn it. So I know that they can't learn it that quick. So I want to be the bridge for them. I want to help them level them up very quickly, develop marketing branding strategies with my partners, with them, and then set them on their path to really be able to compete with the big boys. So that's the why.
I love it. I love the fact that you ended with that so powerfully, the why. And it's philanthropy in a way, right? That you're really driving through your purposeful consulting and really just wanting to give that back. And that realization happened as you went in and you built systems very early on in your career. So that's wonderful. Let's dive into the nuts and bolts now for some of the listeners and even potential clients, smaller businesses that are tuning in. Let's walk through how Taptico generates revenue today. What is your core offering? What are some of the deliverables that you offer to clients, such as performance marketing, sales, enablement? Talk to us about how you structure what you do for your clients.
Absolutely. I think this is going to be something that pops up a lot. There's a gazillion marketing agencies out there. I've worked with them on the client side. And for the most part, eh, decent. A lot of times, if they're expensive, you think they're good. That's not quite the case. But for us, coming with each person that I work with has a decade or more experience in the marketing brand and content generation side. So what we want to do is we want to come in and be the fractional marketing department for our
Mm,
clients. We want to come in, address their concerns, see where their issues are, where their pain points are, whether it's we're working with a nonprofit right now, finding fundraising, finding corporate sponsorships, and then also tell them their story. We're about to work with a commercial real estate interior design firm.
love it.
And their issues are right now, they spend so much time just trying to do the paperwork and keep up with the processes of sorry, of people coming in and their clients coming in and having 1,000 different things on the punch list to take care of. So what we're working on is an automated checklist, almost like a process engine for them, so where they can just ask a rag, use their LLM that we're building for them to figure out where they are in the process. If a client calls, hey, did that carpet get delivered? Did that furniture get delivered? That kind of stuff. So what we're doing is we're coming in, understanding the processes of our clients, and then really being AI architects and really building out the tools and the processes based on what they're doing. I mean, we kind of position ourselves as doctors where we can't tell you what we're going to do for you until we get you in the exam room
Mm.
and we take a look. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Love it. Yeah, I was just about to say, I want to keep on that theme. You're surgically going in, you're diagnosing exactly what those issues are before you can even pull off an execution. And that's why I think it's so unique and disruptive, like the fractional model, especially in that in the marketing world, where you're seeing that there are a lot of cookie cutter agencies. They use a lot of the same things over and over again across
Right.
vertical. But so nice to see that you're focused on the strategic direction and you're enabling a lot of leaders to take that on. Let's dive into some of the things that you're doing now on the acquisition side. Which channels, whether it is like webinars, referrals, your own blog, have been most effective for landing some of your contracts? Tell us a little bit about how you're going out there and how you're actually connecting with some of the SMBs.
Sure. So first off, I've been doing it. I'm in Atlanta. I've been here my whole life. So I have pretty big network here. And we really just launched maybe a month ago. So we're really fresh. But the low-hanging fruits of just posting it on LinkedIn, posting it on my Facebook page.
Mm,
I've got a network of a bunch of small business owners in Atlanta. So we're working with referrals right now and just the network. What we are in the future, we're obviously going to start doing some marketing. I have some plot thoughts and plans to do one-to-many kind of things. As a marketing director, I want to really help marketing directors. So looking at building a community out where we do either weekly or bi-weekly masterminds where we come in and just talk about AI and I bring to them the most recent tools. I do a quick little overview, some on the fly use cases. So those are the kind of ways that we're going to do it. But I think the big thing that we're most excited about is because we are new and I'm a huge fan of Alex Hormozy,
mm,
massive fan. And I'm
yeah.
sure that most of y'all's are too. He always talks about how he wishes that he had documented the process. So I've I've done improv acting. I was in radio for a long time. I've hosted a bunch of events, as have my two partners. So what we're going to do is document the behind the scenes. We're talking about live streaming our meetings as we build this out into something big. Right now, we're going to cap our clients at 10 because we want to be able to super serve them, obviously, make sure that we achieve what we say we're going to achieve, but also perfect our process along the way, create
Right.
SOPs so that we can scale in the meantime or after we hammer everything out and smooth the process. So yeah, I think that's going to be really cool. We're going to be our own real little reality show. Our third partner is about to come on, was on a reality show, actually too. So he's got some insight onto how those run.
Love that. Yeah, and that's I've never heard of that before. This is really unique source content that you're putting out there. You're giving everyone an inside lens and view into the day to day. And I think that's so unheard of and it's so unique and it's so authentic and genuine to its value up front. Now, you mentioned referrals being the main way that you're getting in front of a lot of your audience and really you're trying to build that network as well through masterminds. We've had so many guests on here and more for the listeners, they've found that like with referrals, it's probably not the most scalable way to expand lead gen. How are you navigating that in your own business right now? And you're looking at marketing later on in the future. If you can share and shed a perspective on sort of your own journey through this as you're figuring things out.
Absolutely. Again, we're only shooting for 10 right now. And the clients that we're currently working with, our goal is to surprise and delight them. Everyone's heard the under promise over deliver, but we want to do that times 10. People really don't understand how powerful AI is. They think that they use AI because they talk to ChatGPT. It's a little bit more than that with agentic AI, and just automations are amazing what you can get accomplished pretty quickly. Right now, one of our clients says he's already got 5 other people that want to talk to us. In the future, I've got an evolution of this down the road that we can or can't talk about if you want to, but in the future, there's going to be marketing. The content marketing itself is going to be pretty
Mhm.
awesome, I think. The three of us have pretty dynamic personalities, and if you get us in a room, it's pretty compelling stuff. It's pretty entertaining. We think we're going to really lean into the content side. We do have some outreach. We're doing the cold emails, all that stuff. Still formulating what the best offer is, trying to get the golden ratio down. You reach out to 100 different people, 75 ignore you, 25 reply back. Out of those 25, how many meetings do you get?
Mhm.
How many prospects and then how many clients? So really trying to get that number up so we can really figure out what our golden ratio is. Long story short, we're going to keep on doing what we're doing and pivot along the way if we need to.
Love that. Yeah. It's cool though. You're doing a lot of outbound from what it looks like. That's something else. And you're trying to optimize that, see what's going to be the best approach there. Are you also looking into some of the paid ad strategies as well? And are you offering it to your clients? How does all of that kind of fit into the future as you start to scale?
So Meta AI, if you guys haven't looked into it yet, is it was recently released by Zuck. And Meta AI is another thing that we will do on behalf of our clients. Again, we're the fractional model.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be doing a lot of the work. We're going to hire people and we're going to manage the people on behalf of our clients. But with the outbound stuff, yeah, I definitely think that we'll probably do boosted social. We'll do boosted content. But again, I think that our content's going to stand out because no one really is doing that on this side of the thing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, it sounds like you've diversified a lot of your lead gen and like the ways you're getting in front of your ICP. I'd love to learn more about your approach to sales. What are some of the strategies that are now effective in converting some of the leads into Taptico clients? Are you leveraging a lot of your event outreach, your marketing expertise? And are you doing this solo right now, or do you have a team as well involved in these conversations?
I have a team. So right now I'm really just catching. So people are coming to me. Again, I've got a very big network. I started a networking group in Atlanta about 10 years ago, and it's at 12,000 or 1,200 people, not 12,000, that'd be great, but 1,200 people. But they're all small, medium-sized businesses, media people, PR people. And again, we're just shooting for 10 right now. So it doesn't take that many. What was the second part of the question?
Yeah. So I know you have a team in place that's doing it right now. What's been your approach to having some of these conversations? Your approach to sales? I know there's so many different variations. You're providing a lot of subject matter expertise up front, but how are you approaching these conversations? Like what's worked well for you so far?
I'm more of a show don't tell guy.
Yeah.
I hate it when people say, "Hey, we're the most creative agency in the world," or "We're gonna whatever." I show them. I'm like,
Mm,
here are some thoughts that I've had after talking to you and figuring out how we can help you grow. Here are some thoughts that I had. Do you like
mm,
these thoughts? Do you want to work on these thoughts? Do you want me to generate more thoughts? In radio sales, it's called a half-baked idea.
mm,
So you float half-baked ideas in front of clients or prospects, and it gets them thinking. But you want a client to buy into what you're doing so they have ownership in it.
yeah.
Because if you're building, even before you sign them as a client, you want them to walk down the path of being your creative partner.
Mm,
Because why? Because at the end, they're not going to say no to their own ideas.
Yeah.
So as long as you build those out step by step and methodically, and you have a process and intentionality behind what you're doing, they're going to come on board.
Love that.
You just have to make sure that your idea and your output is high quality.
Yeah. Yeah, and they see themselves almost like in that journey, right? You're painting the picture, you're walking them through it. And it gives that, like you said, best ownership that, yeah, I could absolutely see myself doing this. This isn't as hard. I think you probably have your own experience. Prospects come in, there's some friction, lack of belief as to whether this is something we can do now or like later on. So I
Yep.
love that. You're really like providing a lot of that, the golden road, right? Like the Wizard of Oz, that
Yeah.
and what that can look like.
Yeah, sorry, real quick. One thing that I like to do that, so I've, as a marketing person, been doing it for 20 years, I get a ton of sales emails.
Yeah.
If the first line of your sales email, your cold email is, I would
Yeah.
love to,
Yeah.
I stop reading. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what you would love to do.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to you and find out about your market. I don't know. That's why. What we're doing is we call them value bombs, and we lead with value. With AI, you can do a lot of research very quickly. And so you provide value from the get-go. Hey, Meta AI just got dropped this past week. I know you guys are running Meta ads because you can look that up. I know
Right.
you guys are running Meta ads. It looks like they're underperforming. Did you
Mhm.
know that Meta AI will actually help you implement and inject AI into your campaign strategies? Here's how you do it. And we have
Mhm.
a step-by-step guide. It's a prompt guide that really allows small business owners that they're making bread, they're cutting
Mhm.
hair or fixing roofs. They don't have
Yeah.
time to learn about Meta AI. So if you just give them the recipe, here you go. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
Let us know if you'd like to work together on some more things so we can improve your processes and your sales. If not, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's it. You
And
know?
it's that easy.
Yeah,
Just give them what they want at the end of the day. No need to like go into any of those tactics, but just show the value, show how this fits into what they're doing, and you'll build a genuine connection. It's less
absolutely.
transactional. Now, from what it sounds like, the growth has been super strong with a lot of lead conversion wins from what it looks like. If you can share like a bottleneck that maybe stands out right now, what would it be? Is it scaling maybe team capacity, increasing some of the brand awareness? What are you most focused on solving to keep all of this momentum going into 2025?
Automated processes. So I'm building that out. I'm not a tech guy. I can't write a single line of code.
Yeah.
Luckily, AI can, and I know how to use AI. What I'm trying to build right now is a fully automated machine that kind of propels us forward and allows us to execute not only on our internal goals, but also, clients as they come on. One thing that I would highly recommend any small businesses look into is the EOS model. EOS is based on a book called Traction, but EOS is short for Entrepreneurial Operating System.
Mhm.
And what that does is it really allows you to prioritize what's the most important thing to accomplish per quarter for the company, and then how that kind of cascades down to the team. So if I have three people right now, we're
Mhm.
all rowing the same way. We all know what the goal is for the company. How are we doing our part to achieve those goals? And then breaking it down to milestones. And that's just making sure that you don't get shiny object syndrome. I'm ADD as hell. So the next cool thing could come out and I'll spend 3 weeks going down that rabbit hole. But executing on EOS is really helpful because it keeps you focused on the priority that you agreed upon with the rest of your coworkers and colleagues.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sets a good foundation for predictable and sustainable revenue to be generated as you guys start to increase your customer acquisition as well.
That's right.
Now, the future. I want to learn more about really what's your vision for the near future, doubling client pipelines, launching new analytic tools. What's top of mind for growing Taptic over the next 6 to 12 months?
Getting all the clients that we need, making sure that our profit margins are in line. I'm aiming for a very profit heavy business model because digital tools aren't expensive. We're not having to build bakeries and get stoves and all that kind of stuff. Our actual infrastructure to execute is very limited when it comes to cost. So what I want to do is really develop that pipeline and then copy and paste. So the frameworks that we're building out right now, for instance, for our corporate or our the commercial real estate, is I'm building tools for them specifically to be used in the programs that they use.
Mm,
After that, it's RIP, so we can go to other clients that are similar to theirs or
mm,
similar to them and then offer the same strategy. We'll have a testimonial, we'll have a case study, and then we take that and go to prospects that are in the same industry. Obviously not direct competitors, but in the same industry to show what we can do as opposed to tell, right?
Yeah, yeah, the value of social proof and leveraging that, the proof of the result and the concept there. Now, I want to get a bit hypothetical because I love your passion for more ROI and value-based growth, and you're offering that to your clients and really showcasing that as well upfront. If you had a genie in the room and like you rubbed the lamp and now you have all these unlimited resources, what would you implement immediately to accelerate Taptico's growth today?
What would I implement immediately if I had a genie? I'd probably do a live stream of my genie.
I love that.
Right? I'm just saying. No, I would probably get to where we have scalable solutions and ideally maybe move to a software as a service.
Mhm.
So we get to a membership level where we provide the frameworks of what we've worked on to subscribers
Mhm.
based on their needs in their industry. Again, I don't have an engineer on staff. I'll probably be outsourcing until we can hire someone for that. But that would be the thing that I would look into is scaling that to where it's super scalable.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
goes back to what we were saying earlier a little bit about that, refining the offer a little bit. And how do you really offer this to the masses and really become the leader in that sense? Now, we're in the lightning round right now. One last thing. What's like the best piece of advice you've received about scaling a marketing agency, perhaps from your network, a client, or a mentor? What would you say to some of the listeners that are tuning in and are still trying to find their footing in their founding story?
I would say make sure you want to scale. It's okay to make a good living and not be driving a Lambo.
Yeah.
People that I've worked with that have scaled agencies or scaled any business, for
Mhm.
instance, is it's hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes the stress isn't worth it. If you have 500 employees, you got 500 people that are relying on you. And that's a lot of pressure. So it's okay if you're not driving a Lamborghini and you don't have a house in Abu Dhabi or whatever.
I know.
Yeah, it's okay. So I think, and this is why we put a cap on our clients at 10, because we want to get to 10, see how much more we can handle, what our
Mhm.
bandwidth is at that point, and then assess if we want to take the next steps. Do we want to build a big team, a
Mhm.
massive agency, or do we
Mhm.
want to stay small and just have a nice little make a nice living working 3 or 4 days a week? No
Mhm.
stress.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, yeah.
always gonna be stress, but lower stress. But and again, I'm older, so
Yeah,
tired. I'm tired. But the scalability is cool
yeah,
if you want that, but just know life isn't what's on Instagram and TikTok. The stress
yeah,
behind having all of that, you have one economic downturn, and guess what? You got to lay off 500 people.
yeah, 100%. It's people we're dealing with at the end of the day and livelihoods and more than just the core offer and the core business, all the other elements of it. So very well said. On that note, that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Nick, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your remarkable journey from 20 years in marketing to founding Taptico Solutions. You're driving remarkable results, 30% lead conversion increases for tech, healthcare, and e-commerce clients, really globalizing this as well as head into the next couple years. So for our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you'd like to get in touch with Nick, we'll link his LinkedIn below in the summary so that you guys can reach out as well. Hit him up on LinkedIn if that's okay, Nick. And thumbs up, there we go. And you can also find some more resources and insights at Closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class sales systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we will see you all on the next one.